It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
But when I see something for you and I see something with you mentioning your wife, because as we talked about in this podcast, not really jokingly, Annette is the living form of blunt force trauma. And I don't mean that in a bad way, right? I don't want you to take that in a bad way or her to think that's in a bad way. But hard not to think about it now that I say it out loud.
And Steve.
But hard not to think about it now that I say it out loud. I mean, we've detailed
Okay, replace me with her. Would you have still said that?
No. So I guess I'm like she doesn't listen.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
I mean, you did say no offense, I think.
At some point.
If not, oh
Yeah.
boy, the door's still open. And I
right.
can be offended. She would have to start listening again.
And then catch up to this part
Yeah.
where she heard that.
That's probably not going to happen. I think you're good. I think you're in the clear.
You think I'm
yeah.
safe?
Yeah. Statute of limitations has run out.
But also, I'd still be curious, like, if you somehow squeeze that into, you know, I kind of had an analogy for you the other day. He said you were the human version of blunt force trauma. You know, because I'm here once a week. It's in and out. I could,
Yeah. You can walk in,
yeah,
pull the pin on the grenade,
yeah.
roll the grenade across the floor, and then say, "See you next week."
Yeah. And in terms of, no harm, no foul for me, I'm in and out the door. We're downstairs. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious, if you brought that to her attention, how that goes over. Is it a lead balloon? Is it more of a, well, what did he mean by that? There's...
I think it would lead to some kind of conversation.
You think so?
Yeah. And it's a conversation I don't really want to have. So
I feel like it would be a conversation between you guys where you'd have to explain how you handled it.
Right.
But
there's so many layers there. It would just be easier for her to go back and listen.
I feel like once I got, if I got just a few minutes to really explain my thinking there, I think she'd be on board. She takes pride in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? She's not going to pull the punches. Right? She can say what she thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Right?
Hey, we're back.
Yeah. Yeah, boy,
between me forgetting to schedule the Flashback Fridays and us just not having an episode last week.
Yeah.
This is probably the longest we've gone without recording in, I don't know, it's been like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's been a little bit. This one was on me. Boy, did I get hit and struck down by a little cold.
Yeah, I knew that it was bad because typically when we're texting back and forth, I mean, especially if it's 3D printing related, the responses are fast and furious.
Yeah.
R.I.P. P. Billy 4. But yeah, this one was like, I texted you, I guess last week when we were supposed to record. I had totally forgotten that you had sent me a text the night before saying, "Hey, I don't know if this is going to work tomorrow. I'm not feeling great. And, I don't want to get you guys sick," which I appreciate because, I mean, I don't want to be sick. Right. I have no desire to be sick. I don't want our kids to be sick.
And once you pass it off to one of the kids in the house, next thing you know, it's COVID 2020, COVID 25.
Sure. Yeah. So I said, no problem at all. We can, I usually just default to we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, we didn't really figure it out. We just kind of let it lie. Yeah. And I think I might have texted you early in the week. Like, I don't know, you feeling any better? You want to do a whatever? You want to try and record? Nah.
I in hindsight, we should have done a virtual one. So I feel a little bit bad about that. I feel bad about skipping out. We missed the big New Year's week, New Year's resolution week. And,
that's all right.
But yeah, it's one of those colds where when I get it, I'll get a cough that lingers. That's usually the worst part. The cough will linger for weeks at a time. To years ago, I finally went to the doctor about it, and they mentioned that I get slightly asthmatic when I have these type of colds,
Nice.
and so your lungs hyper it's one of those where once you start coughing, it becomes like a coughing fit.
Yeah,
and
it gets worse and worse.
It's terrible. So
Can't believe it. You, a man in your late 20s, peak physical condition.
boy,
Look good, by the way.
thank you.
Dropped a couple lubs.
Yep. We've lost a little weight thanks to the help of modern medicine.
Nice.
I'm not going to take much credit for it.
Oh, you doing the
Oh, yeah.
jab once a week?
Yeah, and anybody who's weird about it or like, doesn't feel comfortable talking about it, I guess that's fine. But I don't think there's anything odd about saying that that's helped or that's done it for me, right? And
No.
if you can get it and get it prescribed and covered by insurance, which feels like who was that mythical character who had to keep rolling the ball up the hill?
Oh, yeah.
Atlas held the earth, right?
Socrates?
Socrates. So Socrates is rolling this boulder up the hill.
Yeah.
And getting all of those things to happen feels like getting that boulder to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And Socrates never gets it there, if I remember the story correctly, right? And that was in Plato's closet. That was the book?
Yeah, written by Homer.
Written by Homer. It's impossible to get there. Well, luckily for me, it happened to work out. And I've been taking it every week. So yeah, I've been able to lose weight.
Nice.
And boy, oh boy, I don't know if this is the first time I've been cold since I lost a little bit of, gotten a cold since I've lost a little bit of weight. And Steve, I think I'm losing a little bit of, my manliness.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because you lost the weight, the manliness went with it?
Here's my thing. Where we live, you can't be like afraid of winter or just, I guess you can, but complaining about winter is some of the most eye-rolling behavior you can have around here. Just move if you don't like it. I get it.
I mean, we voluntarily live here. We don't have a gun to our head.
I understand. There's very few people who are actively looking forward to cold temperatures and heavy snow and whatever. But me, it's never bothered me. When I was younger, I used to go snowmobiling with my dad and my brother.
You were a snow machiner?
I was a snowmobiler. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
Oh, it looks like a blast. I've always wanted to do that. I never have though.
Oh boy.
Still got a machine?
No. Those have been gone for about 15 years.
Yeah. Anyone in the family still?
No. Brother got out of it. Brother got out of it after my dad got out of it a couple years later. Yeah. Are we doing a snowmobile trip?
I mean, I bet we could find one on Marketplace cheap.
Oh, no question.
It's a terrible time to buy one, of course.
Well, we're the suckers in this.
Right.
In this instance.
I'm not going to be a sucker.
Never until this year have I been so affected by the cold physically.
Yeah, well, you don't have the outer layer.
I've long been, and I think a little bit of it has been changes since my heart surgery as well. The heart boo-boo 4.5 years ago.
Yeah. God, that was that long ago. Jeez.
My fingertips, even now.
Yeah.
Steve, I drove here. I got out of the car. I was in your driveway for maybe 15 seconds. And my right hand index finger, the tip, still feels frozen. Okay?
You might want to get checked on that. That could be some kind of circulation issue.
I have been the guy at home who I'll let the heat during the day go down to 66. And I work at home in the basement. Yeah. And that's easily probably a 5 to 8 degree difference in the basement.
In the denial den.
That's right. The denial den dungeon. That's
just hitting deny. Every now and then, deny. You stupid loser.
Yeah. And then occasionally like a question mark just to really make them think they have a chance. But they don't.
Maybe some notes like, why did you even bother?
That's right.
Or, you again?
Coming back for more? To the point where now that's probably closer to 60 degrees in the basement. But when I'm usually the only one home, that hasn't bothered me. But now, Steve, I'm turning the heat on during the day.
Really?
I can't handle it anymore.
Now, are you the guy who's sitting at your desk in the denial den?
Yeah.
Do you have the space heater underneath the desk and then the blanket draped across your lap?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't yet.
Yeah, I mean we're still We're still January. We're mid-January.
But I get fully dressed every day just to feel like it's a normal day. I think I've mentioned that on here. Even though I understand people who work from home. Oh, it's the best. You just wear your pajamas, and then at night you switch into your other pajamas.
Right.
I can't do that.
Do it. Yeah, that seems like that would be a slippery slope.
So I put essentially what I'm wearing today, Steve. I'll put a top on, some jeans, socks, and then I'll put slippers on. But halfway through the day, I'm sitting there trying to figure out I need to get warmer. My fingers are cold. I think I'm losing my ability to handle this.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I totally get that. Now
you're out there in the trenches.
I am digging ditches 24/7 because that's what my job is. 24/7 on the front lines.
And you'd think at some point you get caught up on ditches.
No,
you'd be shocked.
No, there are so many ditches that need to be dug.
There's a backlog of ditches, and poor Steve is the only one out there.
I'm the only one digging them.
He's just out there, spade in hand.
Yeah.
Spade in hand, flipping that dirt over his head.
Just yesterday, I finished a ditch, and I thought, I am caught up. And then what happened? My phone rung, and it was the man saying, got more ditches for you to dig.
The ditch boss, DB.
And I just went right back to digging ditches.
There's always a
How do you get caught up?
You don't.
No.
But I think every workplace has those people, and I've always rolled my eyes at those people in workplaces, though, who are walking around with, snuggies draped over their bodies.
Yeah.
Those caps you see in 1980s movies with ear flaps. Right?
Yeah.
And then like 4 pairs of pants and snow pants in the office.
Yeah. Is that you now? Do you wear snow pants to your basement office?
No, but I want to ask you, can I no longer roll my eyes or make fun of those people? Or do I still have enough distance that I could insult those people? That's what I'm looking for permission for.
I mean, you got to tread lightly here, because if this keeps up, you're going to be. It's very easy to turn into, I don't like the weather in Michigan. Just wait 15 minutes. You are so close, so close. And if you're going to be doing that, then you're close. You're even closer to what season is it? Construction season or April?
Oh man! At this point, now I'm nervous.
I think you got to start eating again.
I feel like I need to get fat.
You got to pack some pounds on so you can.
I do. I think I need to add weight.
Okay, we got some Middlesworth chips here, which are fantastic. By
Middlesworth chips. Looks like we got some weird Spanish gummies that make me think I'd probably fail a drug test.
Right.
If I took one of those right now.
Yeah.
We still got the La Vaquita. Those are like the chocolate caramel rolls.
Yep.
And then obviously the cones.
Mm-hmm.
The yellow cone? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, they were the ones that they look like little ice cream cones.
So I just need to fatten up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you have gone too far with the weight loss.
Yeah, I was hoping to lose another 15 pounds, but I think you're correct.
No, time to pack it back on.
Pack it back on, and then when July comes, then you can try to lose a little bit, but then you have to be prepared for when November comes back around.
Yeah, the gals at November.
Oh, you never know when they're going to come early.
No, I think that I'm somewhat in the same boat because I've been on a bit of a journey myself over the last 6 days.
Okay.
I've lost 11 pounds since Monday.
I was about to insult you for saying journey, but being 6 days, because unless you're like physically walking somewhere,
right?
I don't know if we can call 6 days a journey. But I'll post it to the poll because I'm on your side now after hearing that.
Yeah, 6 days a journey. But yeah, I am
by choice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this now years ago, Steve, on this podcast, you and I, in one of the many loose ends we've never tied, talked about doing some type of cleanse, you and I.
Yeah.
Is this cleanse related?
Nope. No, this is the same diet that I did 4 years ago, 4 years ago.
Okay. So are you making like boring chicken, for 3 meals a day and then just drinking bone broth for dinner?
No, it's I'm in the lose phase of it right now. So my diet is very restricted, but once I get to my goal weight, then I add back in a bunch of stuff. It's basically portion control, calorie control, and just drinking a ton of water. And it had great results with it years ago. And I decided, I was like, oh man, I kept the weight off for a long time. And then I feel like this year was a real banner year for eating for me. And I just
new heights for you.
Yeah, I slowly, I noticed that number on the scale slowly going up and up and up. So right before Christmas, I decided, all right, I think I'm not going to do I don't want to make the same resolution that everybody makes. Where it's like, I'm going to lose weight, but I just decided to make a conscious effort. Okay. And then, so I've been on the straight and narrow for 6 days now, and I'm down 11 pounds, which is shocking.
I don't get the impression that it's like super tempting around the house either. It's not like, Net's walking in a couple times a day with like a Wendy's bag and then a McDonald's bag or 2 boxes of pizza. So I would assume that temptation is low or average for you outside of, whatever your vices may be.
Yeah, it's more the cravings, which are like lowering every day into it. The first day I was like, man, because I've always had a sweet tooth. And if I see something sweet, I want to eat it. And so that's been the toughest thing. But even those have been, reduced over the last couple of days. But I do notice I feel really cold. I'm pretty cold.
Is this? Oh, no.
Look, I'm wearing slippers.
I know. Yeah. Oh, no. I still rolled up my sleeves, but are you okay if I roll them back down?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, my forearms are a little bit...
We can drag that little fireplace in here. We can turn it on.
We haven't used it in a while, and I wonder... Oh, boy. Oh, no.
We can get it up to about 88 in here.
This is our aging. It's coming back. It is. This is sad.
It totally is.
This is super scary because,
I'm turning into my grandmother. My grandmother would ask for a scarf on the 4th of July.
I've so long given my parents so much grief because I'll go over there for whatever, and it'll be like 76 in that house. And I wonder, like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to sweat out, calorie? What are we doing here?
But now are you coming up with any reason in the world to go over to their house because it feels so toasty in there?
I mean, that sounds awful nice. Now that I think about
They have a fireplace?
Not a real one, no.
You need to get them a fireplace.
Man. Am I going to go home and turn my thermostat up today? 10 degrees?
I think you'd get a little bit of sticker shock when you got your gas bill next month.
Yeah. Oh, man. Huh. I think I'm going to do it. My finger is still frozen, Steve.
How is that in any way possible? That just one fingertip?
I know. And I'm telling you, it makes me nervous. Like, I've talked to Katie. I said, do you think, is this how, like, zombies start?
I mean, I'm glad that you jumped to the first rational.
Conclusion. Yeah. And oh, man.
Okay. All right. Well,
listen, I'm happy I can't wait to keep tabs with you.
Yeah.
How the fasting's going.
Is this the year? Is 2025 the year that we get ripped?
Not a chance in hell. I want to lose weight casually, not actually. I don't want. First of all, if I got ripped tomorrow, people would still be looking at the gigantic boo-boo scar above it anyway.
Right. Well, you can go tank top.
That's true. Boy,
that covers up the boo-boo.
We're talking about that nice, long ripped tank.
Yeah, it's got to be a construction vest yellow color with a Gold's Gym logo.
Yeah,
basically like our the jersey that's
right
hangs up behind you from our friend the town drunk Rusty.
That's right. Yeah. And just
from our softball days,
just to really show off all of the parts of my stomach. Huh. Okay, I'm changing my mind. I'm not going to do that. Well, we've talked. These almost feel like our resolutions, Steve, but we are long overdue now after missing a week and whatever. In recapping our 2024 New Year's resolutions and getting to our 2025 resolutions.
Is this? Hold on. Is this Auld Lang Syne on the recorder? Oh, I apologize. You're actually standing and saluting.
That's right. No, there's no flag in here, so you must hate America. This is like the anthem, right?
Yeah. Oh, good. A second verse.
Wow.
All right.
Well, let's get to our. We need to recap our 2024 resolutions for now. The format we did this last year. Steve, you and I each gave ourselves a resolution.
Yeah.
We each gave each other a resolution, and we each made one for the podcast. And I believe we did that for this year as well, going forward. So, as let's briefly run down, and we don't have to award points or anything, Steve, but
No, I mean, this is in no way a competition.
but we can see, how we feel about how close we came to achieving each of these goals.
I haven't looked at these since we did a mid-year update back in the summer.
Right,
Which
obviously,
by the way, feels so long ago, but that warmth, the sun, if I could go outside right now and it was 96 degrees, I'd be there.
10
It
warm,
would probably still be a little chilly.
10 warm fingertips, not 9.
Sweat beading off my forehead.
That's right. That tank top just glistening my stomach in the sun.
Do we have tank tops available in the merch store?
Yes, we do.
I think we need.
Should we get a couple of merch
we need
tanks?
string tank tops. Like specifically, I want to make sure that the shop has.
Advertise that.
It's got to be like those straps. Can't be more than like a shoelace thick.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1 finger width
Yeah.
on the shoulder and then on the bottom.
Yeah.
Preferably like just the liner at the bottom is the only thing holding it together.
Yeah, the hem.
That's it. So Steve, 2024. Now we'll do a little back and forth. So I have the doc open right now.
Oh, boy. Okay, I'm going to click on that as well.
Steve, your 2024 resolution for yourself, which I thought was a fine one and a good starting point. That I don't know if you ever had the proper spur to get you moving. You know what I mean? You know how those dumb idiot horses need something sharp to kick them in the belly to get them to move?
Yeah.
Real smart animal, by the way. Just exquisite. Need blinders to go straight, and you need to kick them with a knife to get them to walk.
And when they're gone, the only thing you can do is turn them into glue. Yeah. That is the only thing they're good for.
It's super great. Like, let's keep defending people who love those beasts and the beasts themselves. Again, the dumbest animal on the planet as being normal. I don't know if you ever had the proper spur on this, so maybe this is a little bit on me, but I want to hear. Steve, your 2024 resolution for yourself was to read 4 books.
4 books.
Now, there's no shortage of avenues to get books in today's day and age.
Books are plenty. I could have accomplished that goal without even leaving this room, I would assume. I think there's a couple books over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the app on your phone that can hook to the library.
Yeah, it's called Books.
And there's Kindles.
Yeah.
The Kindle library as well. Amazon will give you some free books on there as well.
Sure.
In the year 2024, Steve, how many books did you end up reading?
Well, before we get into that,
Oh, no.
I'm just going to tell you it was, it was a busy year.
Certainly.
A lot going on.
Would you classify your 2024 as busier than 2023?
Oh boy. So much busier than 2023.
So now that we've recapped how busy you were this year, how many books did you read in 2024?
0.
Oh,
I actually started reading a book
okay.
on New Year's Day 2025.
Hey, so you were cooking.
No, 2025.
Oh, good. Sorry, you're off. Just 1 year late.
So I'm going to go back and make this all up in 2025.
So you're just going to read 8 books.
Well, no. I'm going to read the 4 that I was supposed to read last year.
Okay. Wait, what book did you crack open a couple weeks ago, 2025?
It was actually a self-help book that was recommended by my therapist. It's actually my therapist's book that she let me borrow.
Conflict of interest.
I feel like I've already had it for too long.
Okay.
She's going to ask me tomorrow at my appointment.
Oh, no.
Hey, have you finished the book?
And what are you going to tell her?
I'm going to say that I've read about a quarter of it.
Okay. That's a quarter more of a book than you read in 2024.
I know. Look at me.
You're knocking resolutions
January
out.
19th. I'm already so far out of the gate.
Okay.
All right.
A disappointing update, but listen, you've taken the failure that was 2024 in terms of book readings.
Some would say failure.
The miserable letdown
I don't know about that.
of book reading that was 2024 in Steve Land. Was there ever a night where came out and you saw Annette? Was she like sitting on the couch, like reading a book or anything, and you thought, you know what, maybe?
Yeah. I would say instead of failure, like when you were in elementary school.
Yeah.
Before you got like actual report cards.
Sure.
A, B, C. I would say that this is not quite meeting expectations.
Okay.
The old NQME.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kyle, looking back at this list.
Yeah.
I don't remember you making this resolution. Mm-hmm. But you had a resolution to use your phone 25 to 30% less.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is, I feel like I probably said back then, boy, that's going to be hard to monitor.
Absolutely.
I know that there are screen time apps, like with my phone. It'll tell me if I want to look it up. It'll tell me how much time I've been on the phone and kind of compare and contrast.
Yeah.
I've never really dug into it though, so I don't know how accurate it is. I don't know if it does it track all your apps and everything.
Sure.
So in the calendar year, the year of our Lord 2024, did you use your phone 25 to 30% less?
No. I'll say this. I think I was probably close.
But did you track it in any way?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't even think about a way to monitor that because I
changed
phones also.
What you're saying is you may have.
I may have. I'll say this. I do think I used it less. Thank you. Finally. Okay. It's going on. Okay. Yep. A little bit long.
About 3 seconds too long every time.
Boy, important for me that early November I ended up getting rid of Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Added something on my phone to make it so that I can't go there.
Now, did you jump on the Blue Sky bandwagon?
I did.
What about the Red Note? Red Note's the new one.
No, because I don't know what is Red Note?
Red Note, I think, is the replacement for TikTok, because at the time that you are hearing this, TikTok has been banned for a couple of days, unless that was the new administration's priority, and it got reinstated yesterday, which would have been Inauguration Day. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I never had a TikTok, never downloaded or got on there, so don't need that. But Twitter was my vice. Twitter was a problem. Not just screen time, but also mentally was a problem.
Yep.
So I'm on Blue Sky, but Blue Sky there's just not enough people on there, or the people that I was on Twitter following. It turns out I was following Twitter, and I don't know if this is a normal thing for sports fans to do. I would be having the sporting event on the TV in front of me, but then I'd be following it along with social media.
Okay.
And I don't know why I would do that outside of just insight and like, hey, if a player was injured, it would say, they might have an update on there quicker than a TV broadcast.
Yeah.
And
so you were on Twitter mostly for sports.
Yeah, and arguing.
Yeah.
Which was the problem.
It's not healthy.
No. So I finally told myself after the election, it's time to go. Mm-hmm. And it was partially because I didn't want to argue politics on there. That's a talk about of online manifestation of the Spartans, right? From the 300, like me just launching an arrow every now and again into a mass of millions of buffoons. Sure. Yeah. It just was. It's not good for me. So to anybody still on there and engaging in the daily fight and needing that type of engagement for you, great. So I do think that helped me the last month and a half, especially, Steve. Mm-hmm. But boy, I really got to crack down again, because for about half the year I did, and before we'd sit down for dinner, I'd take my phone, I'd throw it in my bedroom, so I couldn't have it near me.
It's good.
I'd get back to that.
Yeah.
I do think it was less. I can't quantify it 25 to 30%.
Okay. So we are both massive failures for 2024.
If I had to give a half a point, I'd give it to me.
Unfortunately, I've just talked to the judges. We do not deal in half points here.
Oh, boy, it's a tough system around here. Steve?
I know.
We each gave each other a resolution. And when I checked in June with you, we were slightly behind on the resolution I gave for you.
Oh, the old NQME again, not quite meeting expectations.
You had a whole 6 months, and I'm assuming you started, especially after hearing this update about losing 11 pounds in the last week. Steve, this year I told you I would like you to go to the gym 24 times, which would have been the equivalent of twice a month.
Twice a month, yeah.
Or make that trek in there. Throw the cards in that 19-year-old's face and say, cancel this. I'm done. Let me ask you, as we wrap up 2024, how many times did you end up in the gym, or did you make that fateful trip to cancel?
Kyle, I will tell you that this resolution was achieved.
What? Oh, now this. What a turnaround, Steve.
Yeah.
From June to the 1st of January 2025, you made 24 treks to the gym to get your pump on.
Absolutely not. But what I did do is stop in there at 11:30 a.m. on New Year's Eve and canceled my my membership.
So you
I waited till the last possible day.
you beat out all of those New Year's resolution people coming in. So you had waves of people in line behind you. Excited, shorts,
to sign up.
string tanks down to the hem.
And I quit the last possible day.
And you said, no, gang, wait a minute. I've got these cards. I've got to make sure they cut them up in front of me. So you walked in there and went. Now, was the cancellation process hard?
Very
easy?
simple. Very simple. I
And
just
so-
said, hey, I'd like to cancel. He said, okay. Let me scan your card. Scan my card.
Yeah.
He said, any reason? I said, yep, I don't use it.
Yeah.
And he said, okay. Not a problem. He type. Okay, sign this. Signed it. And he said, okay, well, in case you change your mind, your membership is good through the 17th of January. So it actually technically just expired 2 days ago. I'm hoping that I get the grace of the judges, and that does count as an achieved goal resolution for 2024 because I did go in there and cancel.
Absolutely.
The fact that they gave me a couple extra days,
Oh, sure.
it just means they didn't want to refund my partial month.
That exquisite. Can't believe you did it.
Thank
Proud
you.
of you.
Thank you.
Impressed.
That was it was a long time coming. It took a lot of dedication in 2024.
I gave you that out. Listen, I gave you that out for that reason.
Well, I mean, it's not an out at all. It was part of the
exactly.
of the deal, part of the challenge.
I wanted you to use it or acknowledge that it was that you were wasting the money.
Going 24 times in a year, or quit before the end of the year. Yeah. There wasn't any indication that one of those is less, or more. I just had to do one of the two.
Yeah, and I
did one of the two. I feel like I had a pretty successful year.
You nailed it, and I don't think less of you for choosing that out either.
Thank you very much. Maybe once. Oh, I mean,
come on, guys, come on, get out of here.
Now you're just
seriously, get out of here.
Now you're just
I mean, and you got to be calculating those savings already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because that didn't re-up.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like I got an extra $120 in my pocket this year.
Proud of you.
First thing I thought of was maybe I'll join the one that's closer to my work.
Oh no!
I was
Steve being back in the gym by June is a favorite on all the sports books. Unbelievable. Proud of you.
So,
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Our first success.
Man, and it feels good. All right. I believe that I very clearly remember this resolution that I made for you. And it was very simple. You had to make a friend in 2024.
Yeah.
A friend. That was it. I believe that the requirements were you had to have this person's phone number.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking right now, by the way.
And that's a bad sign. And you had to exchange texts with them or phone calls with them and make plans with someone. I don't think we necessarily said whether it had to come to fruition or not, but say you met, Bob at the bar one night. Yeah. 'Cause you're always sitting at the bar. looking to chat up some new friends.
Bellying up at the local pub, yes.
Yeah. And, we got kids that are the same age. We should, take them to the park one day. That's all. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, in the year of our Lord 2024, did you make a friend?
This one felt unwinnable.
Did it? Because I remember, I don't even think we were out of January yet, and I was getting a flurry of texts from you one night.
Yeah.
Talking about how I'm chatting up some friends, some new acquaintances at the bar. You and Katie were there, and there was something. Oh, isn't that the origin of the
how about that? Or...
yeah, I'm about that shirt that we have on our website.
Yeah,
you were chatting somebody up, and you said
that was January.
So I made you make a Craigslist missed connections post.
Yeah,
where you said, "I noticed you at the bar. We thanks for chatting. Saw that you work out, and yeah, I'm about that." But then you left. You left.
Yeah.
Didn't exchange info.
Sadly, that was the closest I got. But not by much.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Things are cooking.
Oh, boy.
That in the last few weeks,
okay,
I could see a coordinated get-together with another adult couple that also has a child, Reed's age.
Okay, is this like a fellow parent at Reed's school or something?
It is. It is. And that's where we were yesterday spending, we left a couple hours at this kid's birthday party.
Okay.
6th birthday party that Reed was invited to. And at that party.
Wait, when was he invited? When did the invitation get received?
A couple weeks ago.
Was it in December?
No, that was January. Yeah.
I'm trying to find a loophole for you.
Plans are in motion at this point.
I need details. I need to know.
There's a local, I don't even know if it's local, place where the trailers or homes that are centered around a lake, but it's used as a vacation place.
Yeah.
We're on the list.
So that you're buying a trailer at a lake?
No, we're getting invited.
Oh, so we are
formally...
I was like, boy, you're really dedicating yourself to buying a second property, a vacation home, just so you can invite someone over. You can do that to your regular house.
We're formally invited.
Wow.
For that this summer. But I did make one other effort this past year.
Man, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed.
And it was I wouldn't say legitimate effort, but it was an outside effort. That they're a couple. They're friends. It's one of Katie's longest friends, but they don't live here. They live in Washington, D.C. But I thought, you know what? This is it. I'm going to take that next step.
Okay.
And no, I'm not talking about swinging. I'm talking...
look, you lost weight. You're feeling confident.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah.
Who am I to judge?
Lost weight, still no hair, but maybe that's the next step of losing weight.
The hair just pops back.
Yeah, weight sort of goes down, and those follicles are like, "Hey,
we got room.
Let's get back out there." So last December, this would have been 2023. We were invited to their house. They did like a wine and the girl, Katie's friend, would do like a wine around the world thing where all taste wine, big charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Husband was there. And husband and I were talking about I think we were talking about movies. So I made an effort. I went home like that next week, watched the movie, and I don't have his phone number. Reached out to him. Said, hey, man, just finished this movie. Thought the same thing you did.
It's like a book club, like a modern book club.
Can't believe it. Yada, yada. Whatever the outreach was. Let me try to find this because
I can't believe that you went to a wine and charcuterie party.
Oh yeah, I'd go to that every day.
Talked cinema.
Yeah,
took a recommendation, and now you have in the sights a wine and cheese and charcuterie cinema friend.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and read how that went?
Okay.
This was my outreach to try to say, you know what? Maybe we can become communicative buddies, and we could check in from time to time, and that would be like a step in the right direction. Because when they come home a couple times a year, I could reach out and say, "Hey, what you up to? You want to go get a drink? Want to go hit the golf course? Whatever."
Yeah.
So you why don't you recap what you think how this went?
Okay. So you messaged this person January 3rd, 2024, 8:01 p.m. Checked out, is it Sisu?
Sisu or I forget how it's pronounced.
Checked out Sisu today. Couldn't believe the ending. Unreal. It's great. Great opening. I think you're...
and that's all it was. Just I figured maybe we converse a little bit. Maybe, we'll have a solid back and forth where we can exchange some movie ID, whatever.
Now, he didn't reply until the next morning. Again, you sent it January 3rd, 8:01 p.m. He replied January 4th, 2024, 7:16 a.m. No doubt just got up for getting ready for work.
Yeah.
And his reply, thumbs up. And nothing since. So
360, well, it's leap year last year, 367 days ago. I've talked to him since, in person.
Yeah.
So I put myself out there.
Okay, yeah.
I tried. I tried in a couple instances. Now, outside of, trying to track down that lovely couple we spoke to last January via Craigslist misconnections. 2 times in the last year I've tried, Steve. Half a point?
I don't know if I can give you half a point. I mean, I personally, I would give you a half point.
Right.
But, the judges.
It's tough sledding. Tough sledding.
All right, so...
Just the last 2 here, Steve. We each made one for the podcast. Your idea was last year to post 1 reel or story per week for social media, Facebook or Instagram. I believe that's the only spot you can do those, right? Well, I guess videos would count for wherever. How would you grade yourself on that one?
I think we started off kind of strong. And then did not end as strong as we started. So I'm going to take a big L on that one.
Let me come in here though as the pump up guy. Can we have that?
All right. There we go.
I think our social media output last year was superb.
I think it was great. It just wasn't great in the way that we had, or I had envisioned it.
Yeah.
But I think our poll output, which sounds weird, was the Stephen Kyle podcast #1 for poll outlet in 2024.
Yeah.
Maybe,
boy.
depending on how you spell poll, that may be, I mean, that's 2 very different questions.
Yeah, we'll do poll, parentheses E, and then parentheses L.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them, it's up to the person to decide.
I think we did a fine job, but you're right. I think we tailed off. I think that's, but Mike, with most resolutions, that's probably the #1 cause of New Year's resolutions failing.
Yeah. All right. So overall, I got 1.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's go over my goal for the podcast.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
I had my last one, so there might be a chance that I could even this out yet.
Okay. So, I my apologies. I totally forgot to get to yours. Your goal for 2024 for the podcast was quit.
Almost had it.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again.
Yes.
Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay.
Limbering up over there. It's
It's a big one.
This is the first one of the year, right?
Yeah. And
Or did you do one? Yeah, you might have done one in the last episode. I don't remember. Took some time off.
Here we go.
Okay.
Locking in the edge.
Here we go. Oh, okay. Well, you had a clean, I'll say half. Hey!
I mean, it's a two slicer though.
It's a 2-slicer, but it's by far your best one yet.
I mean, that one.
There's no
little nick at the point there, but
that's okay.
I think we should send that to some type of museum. And when they ask why, we explain. Whoa!
What do we got here
From our friend Trevor.
Trevor.
Now, he is in Dixon/Burns. He is not in Nashville, Tennessee, as we all know.
No.
Reloading the coffers for $20.25.
Oh, 2025. I love it.
Happy New Year to you too, Trevor.
Happy
Thank
New
you
Year,
so
Trevor.
much.
Trevor just got a new job too, didn't he?
Congratulations to Trevor. He is on the list. If we have time, probably not this episode as I take a look at the clock. I'd like to get a few more people in on the New Year's resolutions before we get to ours. We're going to try, I believe right now, Steve, while you're looking to dial up that number, we had a few people message us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Steve and Kyle with some of their New Year's resolutions. So we're going to start the first person we heard from. We're going to try to give a call. Friend of the show, Jason Santos, who is out in Colorado, Steve. And mostly because I'm excited to talk to him. Some interesting stuff just in that short message that we always like talking to these interesting folks about their jobs and how he came up with this idea for a New Year's resolution.
All right, let's see if we can get him on.
Boy, I hope he answers.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Okay.
The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Well, Jason, you're dead to us.
It's a real disappointing start to wanting success on your New Year's resolution.
Do we want to get Trevor on then?
We could try Trevor, or what? Do we want to just try next on the list?
Oh, okay, Michael.
Yeah, let's try Michael Yost, who also had Michael Yost has an interesting resolution because it ties into this podcast.
Okay, let's see if we can get him on because again, Jason is dead to us.
Never again.
No.
Hi, you've reached Michael Yost. Not able to get to the phone.
Apparently, everyone's resolution should have been to answer the phone more.
I mean, listen, this is mostly all of their fault. I will take an iota of fault because we were supposed to call them last week before I was sick.
We are calling 1 week after we said we would.
In fairness, I just said Sunday. Yeah, I don't believe I specified any certain Sunday.
Well, Trevor, you're up now.
Yeah, let's see if we can give a call to Trevor, who's got a couple of different things on his list.
Now, if I know Trevor.
Trevor's going
to answer the phone immediately. Okay, let's see. Come on, Trevor. Do it. Hello?
Hello?
Trevor?
Hello?
Is this Trevor in Dixon/Burns, not Nashville, Tennessee?
1 second. Sorry, hold on. I left my phone downstairs. I left my phone downstairs. Sorry, 1
So
second.
what are you doing, shouting into some speaker, Trevor?
How's he talking to us?
Yeah, what is happening? Are you talking to us through the stars right now?
All right, call me back in like 30 seconds.
No, I'm not.
30
I am
seconds.
not doing that, Trevor.
30 seconds, man. I don't know. Do we hang up on
I'm
him?
willing to hang. Listen, we got 2 more on the list.
I know.
We got 2 more on the list.
Well, you're obviously hearing us.
Yeah, you're hearing. What's
You're
happening? How
responding
is
to
this
what-
disconnect happening right now?
You're responding to what
I
we're
swear to
saying.
God,
I had you on my watch.
I will call you. I will call your new employer right now and tell them that you are not worthy of this job. Are we clear
I
on
had
this?
you on my watch.
Oh, I
had
didn't
you
realize
on
we
my
were
watch. You're
talking to
on the phone
Inspector
now.
Gadget.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. What's next? Are you going to shoot like a rocket out of your hat? Okay, and then jump on stilts.
Perhaps.
For God's sake, this is already a terrible start to
I
2025.
think I'm a little too big to jump on stilts, though.
Trevor, do we have you on an actual phone now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a professional podcast. For the love of God, we are trying to make money.
Yes,
and
you
I've
do
got
not have me on my Inspector Gadget watch anymore.
and I've got a grown man yelling at me from like one of those Tony boxes that kids used to hear stories from 3 rooms away.
Trevor, be like a good American
Well,
and have your phone on you, glued to your face at every single waking moment.
you can just edit all this out, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Right?
our editing budget just ballooned for 2025, Trevor, as we see nothing but ungained riches.
I'll send you an extra few dollars. You can edit it out this month.
Well, Trevor, the reason we're calling, is one, to check in on your New Year's resolutions,
Yeah.
but two, to thank you for your very generous donation to the Steve and Kyle podcast coffers.
Yeah.
Sending a generous donation of $20.25. I'm
right.
assuming to ring in the new year.
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you very much.
Boy, that's a delight. Now, Trevor, as the side gig is starting to announce, I believe you guys are announcing some live shows for the year 2025. Steve, have you guys announced anything in the great city of Nashville for this year?
We will be there at the end of this week.
Oh, Trevor, are you going to be seeing our
Yep.
good friend Steve here this Friday?
Yes, I will see him in the morning and at the night show.
Oh man. Well, that's exciting for everybody. You're going to make a trip to the big city. No doubt going to load up your single cab 1975 Ford Ranger with all the belongings to head to a trip to the big town of Nashville this week.
Trevor, you don't have to answer that. Everyone knows that the Ranger didn't debut until 1984.
Oh, Jesus.
Big dummy.
Also, I'm a Chevy guy, so it would definitely not be a Ford.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Pee on Fords.
That's right. Yeah,
right, Calvin?
You got Calvin peeing on the other logos on the back of the truck, no doubt.
No, I do not have a Calvin sticker. My wife would not allow it.
Well, that's also good because apparently a lot of internet stores get that shut down if you resemble Calvin even in the slightest bit. So, Trevor, you sent us...
There has been merchandise that has been known to get pulled off the shelves.
That's right.
So I hear.
I know.
That's
It's
right.
awful.
For different reasons. It wouldn't be us. Could never be us. So, Trevor, you sent us a list of your 2025 New Year's resolutions. I have a couple questions for you about those, if you don't mind.
Sure. No, go right ahead.
How serious are you about these, Trevor?
Very serious.
Okay, so let me call you a big dumb goof because you already started by saying 2024 resolution. Like literally the first word on your message you sent us, a 2024 resolution, you've already disappointed yourself, right?
It's a bad start.
I agree.
Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty because I would say these are somewhat serious resolutions for you for this year, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So we don't need to get into what spurred them or why. That's personal information that we don't need to dig into here. But the first one you mentioned to us was to cut down on drinking alcohol, but you specifically mentioned bourbon. So
Yes.
I feel like to get an adequate barometer for that, we need to know kind of where you're at heading into 2025. What's your goal in terms of cutting down?
Mm-hmm.
And what's your plan?
The current right now is around 4 ounces per night,
Okay.
and the goal is to get down to Friday and Saturday only.
Okay. So
And
some
what I
weekending.
have, yes, just weekending, not during the week.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
So,
I think that's a very good and healthy choice that you're trying to make.
Now, what's the plan? Because a lot of people, when alcohol is what they want to reduce, they have to replace things, right? Whether it's need to be doing something. Are you going to start chewing gum in place of that? Or are you just going to start maybe housing ribs, just copious amounts of meat because you can't be filling your hole with bourbon? Do you have any plan in place for how you're going to go about this?
Honey,
Get the ribs.
give me my emergency ribs.
So two things. Number one, the bourbon is now in a cabinet that is locked up, and my wife has the key. So if I do want something to drink out of it, I have to ask her.
Oh,
so
boy.
that was the first step that I took.
Yep.
And then the second thing is, yes, I have replaced that with chewing gum to answer your question. Yes.
Really? Okay. So how is the gum or any type of thing, essentially the emergency ribs or the gum in this case, has that helped? Have you noticed less cravings or less I don't need to go pour myself one. I've got this spearmint.
Yes, actually, I have noticed a dramatic, and it was kind of more turning into, instead of it being just kind of an enjoyable thing, something to enjoy, it just kind of turned into, it's about 8:30. Might as well go pour me a 2-ouncer.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what type of gum guy are you, Trevor? Are you buying the adult, long-lasting kind, like the Extra or the Trident? Mm-hmm. Or have you reverted back to being a toddler and you need 16 pieces of Fruit Stripe?
Or Big Red.
Or Big Red or Bubble Yum because it loses its flavor in 45 seconds?
Why do you got to throw bubble gum under the bus? It's fun blowing
listen,
bubbles.
I guess
bubble
that answers our
yum.
question.
Yeah, so it sounds like okay. So you're no doubt sending your wife to the store every other night. Say no, get the zebra stripes. You
Honey!
know I don't like watermelon.
Honey, when you bring me my ribs, don't forget my bucket of bubble yum.
Hey, ribs and gum pronto.
Or are you like a sportsman and you're going big league chew?
Ooh.
Oh, Big League Chew is honestly where it's at, because that's really one of the longest lasting ones, and you can
That's quite
get some good. Definitely. Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't
But
like anything
no, to answer
grape
your
flavored
question,
except Big League Chew.
I have the great Big League Chew at home right now because we had some from the end of Reed's baseball season, and he doesn't care for it. So I'll stick a wad in as I pass by because that is a delightful, great flavor.
Do you then spit on the carpet like you're dipping?
Always walk around, and then I yell some coaching out to nobody in particular, usually the dogs.
All right.
or your Lions. Well, no, not anymore.
Oh,
But
boy.
So, Trevor, what can Steve and Kyle do throughout the year? We'll check in with you a couple times on this journey to help you keep your drinking to a minimum. Do you need our help in this regard? And what type of help? Would you like encouraging behavior? Would you like us to just call and scream at you a couple times this year?
Given how long I've listened to this podcast for, I know if I said number one, it wouldn't happen anyway. So definitely number two.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
All right, so we're gonna have to put something on our calendar.
Yeah, we'll do
Maybe
it.
quarterly.
I think I think quarterly we can schedule a check-in to make sure Trevor has reduced his bourbon consumption to weekending only.
Trevor, if you think for a moment that we are going to let you know when we're going to call, that's a pipe dream. So make sure that phone is on you. I don't want your go-go gadget watch.
Honestly,
We're if you see this phone number calling, I would rather have you not pick up and call us back a minute later from a reliable source.
yeah.
Then-
Phone booth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Than to pick
Yes,
up on your Inspector Gadget watch.
Yeah, and
I fully understand. I was worried because it was Grand Rapids calling, and I thought it was somebody telling me that my VIP ticket to the side gig show was no longer going to be valid.
yeah, well,
So
don't
that's
worry
why
about
I
it.
answered it on the watch.
No, that'll be a personalized email. We'll send you that on the side, but just so you're aware, it is canceled. The second one you mentioned, Trevor, and I'd like to get your wife's thoughts on this as well before we hang up with you, just about if she wants our help, because I think we know the answer is yes, but we just want to confirm that she thinks us calling you quarterly to scream at you about drinking bourbon on the weekends is going to be an acceptable form of help on this 2025 journey for you. But your second one you mentioned was to lose some more weight.
Oh, it's always a great goal.
And Trevor, you're in luck because you've got a couple of waitesmen on the line with you today with a couple of different ways to go about it.
Yeah.
And now, Steve, you haven't heard this yet, Trevor, because Steve mentioned on the podcast today. But Steve, you're down this year already.
Yeah, 11 pounds in the last 6 days.
11 pounds in 6 days.
Seems ridiculous.
Are you doing the magical apple diet again, or something different?
I am doing a diet called Ideal You.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And me as well. And my advice.
Have you talked about? Are you comfortable saying how much?
No, yeah, I'm very comfortable. In 6 months, I am down 37 pounds.
Wow.
And that is due to the help of modern medicine.
Yeah, you're going you're on the like the celebrity weight loss thing, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but much cheaper than what they tell you. Yeah, if you can get it covered through insurance,
Be on the red carpet in no time.
Plenty advisable. So, Trevor, what is the goal number for you to totally lose? Where are you at now, and how are you going about it?
I have lost 130 pounds so far.
Whoa.
However, when the bourbon consumption picked up, we've kind of plateaued for the past 6 months. So also getting the bourbon under control will get me back on the weight loss spectrum that I want to be on, but I want to lose about 80 more pounds.
Okay, so
that will put me down around 200.
You said you've lost 130 pounds?
Yes, sir.
In what
yes.
in what time frame?
About 2 years.
Wow.
And then for the last 6 months, it has stayed pretty steady.
Okay.
I'll just flat out tell you, I was reduced at work, and so that turned to me drinking, which caused that number to stay still, which is also why my 2025 resolution is to cut down on the drinking, which will then also help dramatically with the weight loss as well too.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations, 130 pounds.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Plateau or not, that is a number and an effort to be proud of for anybody. So I wouldn't let that, the fact that it plateaued for half a year defeat you whatsoever, even though I know that's easier said than to think that way. So what is the plan then?
Yes, mentally, yes.
Are you a gym rat now? Are you're ripping your tank tops down to the hem to show off the guns as you go to the gym 5 days a week, or how have you been going about this in terms of losing weight?
So I have, when I was actually losing weight, I was walking 3 miles a day for 5 to 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that during my lunch break. I could get 3 miles in for, during the hour lunch break. And then I was also going to the gym. Now, the past 6 months, I have been a lazy SOB and not done anything.
Yeah, I get that. You'll hear this when the episode comes out, but I went to the gym one time in the last year, and it was to cancel my gym membership. So,
and honestly, again, Steve, round of applause.
Thank you.
Round of applause because you did it. You did it. You got the only point on the New Year's resolutions.
New Year's resolution met.
So
no free rides, but yes, certain establishments do make you go in there in person to cancel it. You can't do it like over the phone or on the internet online because
Yeah, and you feel like it's such a failure when you go in there too.
So, Trevor, I'm going to need you to get back to the gym this week, or I'm going to need you to get out there walking another 3 miles this week. I know you said you're going to go on a job change, which, by the way, congratulations. Again.
Yes, I started February the 3rd.
Okay.
Nice.
I'd like to see you this week. I'd like to see a photograph, a little selfie of you on our social media somewhere.
Yeah, maybe on a stair climber or something.
A stair climber or out and about. Walking those mean streets of Dixon and, putting some pavement underneath your feet.
All right. And that's all that you want. That's not a problem at all.
And that's going to be the nicest way I phrase it when we check in quarterly. Okay? Because when we check in
honestly,
April.
That's been the nicest way you've phrased anything on this podcast ever, being completely honest.
Look,
and I'm not.
We are a changed group of people here. Being the weightsman that we are now.
Yeah.
Hitting
2025 is a new year for the podcast.
Hitting 2025 with a whole new perspective on life.
Yeah.
That's what we are here.
Yeah. Again, it's not going to be as friendly going forward. So if we don't start seeing some photographs of you putting pavement underneath those feet, some fresh hokas on them toes.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do. Okay. I want to see some walk because walking's easy as well.
Yeah. Walking's easy. We all got to do it.
They came in this week.
All right.
Funny that you say that. The brand that we will not give a free ride to did come in this week,
That's
though.
right.
Good man.
Now, before we let you go, Trevor, could you either shout to your wife, maybe just ask her, and you can message us later if you're more comfortable doing that. Does she want our help in this? Does she think we can be a help on your drive to lose weight and cut down your bourbon drinking, or does she think she's got it handled?
Let me address that very easily. Number one, I could shout, but she's on a women's retreat right now with all of her best friends about 3 hours away. So I could shout, but she ain't going to hear it.
Okay.
Number two, you two yelling at me would save her from having to yell at me.
Perfect. Tell her we'll take over the yelling, and she can do like the gentle parenting with you because we all know you're a big kid, and she can do the gentle parenting.
Well,
and Big Bacon Steve.
She's a Karen, so
Big Bacon Steve.
She is a Karen.
Okay. Well, you're
not doing yourself any favors here, Trevor.
Boy. Yeah. Well, I believe we've said
she doesn't listen.
Yeah, she doesn't.
I lied. I'm sorry. That was a lie. She listens when she is in my car and I put the podcast on. That is when she listens.
If you could just grab her phone next time and just set it to download. We don't care if she listens at that point.
Yeah, exactly. We're just looking to juice the
I'm
numbers.
Totally going to do that.
Thank you, man.
I'm going to say that's part of the contingency of you two helping me lose weight and reduce the bourbon contingent.
That's right.
It's contingent on her downloading the podcast and all of the previous ones.
Yeah.
All right. That seems fair to me. All right, Trevor. Well, it's always a pleasure talking to you. I will hopefully see you in just a couple of days. And keep fighting the good fight. You're doing a great job, man.
Yeah, man. We'll check in with you.
You'll see me.
We'll check in with you in a few months. Good luck. And remember, we are going to shout at you next time if you are not at your goal.
Good. You could have shouted at me this time.
All right,
well,
Trevor.
technically, you kind of did over the Inspector Gadget phone, but I understand. That is completely justified, and I agree.
Yeah, answer us on the watch next time, and let's see how that goes.
I don't think I can handle that repercussions.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right, Trevor. Take care.
Okay. Wait. One quick question.
What's up?
Now that I'm still your Mito, and I have a completely new office. Do we want a new recording of Team Suspension versus Covered Bridge?
Trevor, I feel like for your own self-preservation, you need to feel out what the new office is going to be like first. I don't want you going in there first day. You know something? I do want you going in there first day. Yeah. Yes, I need to know are your new coworkers, at least one of them, Team Suspension or Team Covered Bridge?
And make sure it's the CEO.
Yeah.
Knock on the door and start the recording at the knock, like a podcast, like using that B audio, like, hey, CEO Jim, got a question for you. And then he goes, who the hell are you?
Yeah, really make him question why they hired you.
Yeah, right off the bat.
And hopefully the door squeaks when it opens, so that way it adds that level of.
We need the ambiance.
Yeah, maybe throw some leaves down right outside of the door.
Yeah, we will check in with you. Yeah, we would love one of those. We'll love one of those recordings at some point this year. Why don't we get settled into the new job? So.
All right, Trevor. Thank you. Good to talk to you.
I think the first week is perfect.
All right, goodbye.
Very Midwestern. Hard to hang up on a guy.
Hard to end the call.
It's so friendly.
I love Trevor. I look forward to seeing him in a couple days. In case you're not familiar, he referenced him as the podcast Mito. That's Man in the Office.
Man in the Office. Yeah, that's an important job that was designated to Trevor years ago that we followed up on 0 times. Where he asks important questions to people in a standard office setting so we can get a vibe for what the world thinks about our stupid debates.
He's taking the pulse of the nation right there in Dixon/Burns.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Before we get out of here, Steve, we need to run through our 2025 New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. So, I mean,
So you got your list ready?
I would love to jump into it, but, I'm going to cede my time.
You want me to start?
To my partner across the table.
Okay, boy. So this is a good one because we're going to do similar format as to last year.
Okay.
To where I think it's best that we create a New Year's resolution for ourselves, one for each other, and then one for the podcast. And I'll say this, I had a couple I struggled with a little bit.
Okay.
I had a couple options. Had to decide. I had to make the cuts. So I will start 2025 with a resolution for myself. Now, last year, as we talked about, I somewhat failed. Not quite meets expectations. NQME.
NQME.
On the use the phone less, about 25 to 30% less than what I did the year before. So this year, I'm going to give myself one that I think this is attainable and measurable.
Okay.
Because that's important. Started doing the Trevor method last year. I started doing a lot of walking when the weather was agreeable, to aid in losing some weight and just getting outside. This year, I want to step it up. This year, I would like to run just 1.5 miles without stopping.
1.5.
Now, that is not a lot.
No, it's totally attainable, especially with a near 40-pound weight loss. Yeah. It's going to be so easy for you.
I got last year, after kind of building up and trying, I got up to about like 0.8 or 0.9 miles before I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I get it real like upper respiratory, not clenching, but like just very uncomfortable. And I don't know if it's oinky related or just being out of shape.
Or the old age, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, in the podcast. Early 30s. Early 30s. So I think this is doable, and I think I'm gonna knock this out by July. I think
just imagine
June.
Oh wow. Okay.
Memorial Day 2020.
Wow, May. Okay. Do you want to go Easter?
Boy, I shouldn't have said May.
Just imagine Just imagine if you've knocked this out Memorial Day weekend. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That's 7 months where you don't have to do anything except bask in the glory of knowing that you already fulfilled your New Year's resolution.
I got a point in the bank.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge. That is huge. So yeah, I'd like to upgrade. I think walking for me, I've decided I like walking. I hate running.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bad at it.
It's not great.
I finally have shoes that seem normal for that type of exercise, though. So this year, it's happening, Steve. 1.5 miles. And you know what? You don't forget it. I'm going to run a 5K. Yeah. Yeah. Why did I say that? Oh, that was. I'm in the moment.
You are. Yeah, exactly. You're.
I moved it up to Memorial
You're
Day.
no-
Then said I'm going to run double what I already agreed to.
You're negotiating against yourself.
Yeah. What's next? A half marathon? This is stupid.
It's like going to buy a new car and being like, "Oh, okay, it's 25 grand. I'll give you 30."
Yeah, you know
no,
what?
40.
God. Oh, that was really stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Somebody's calling back. Somebody in Wyoming.
Oh, so sorry. So sorry, Jason Santos. I'll get to you next week.
Oh, is that who it
I
was?
believe that's what it was, yeah. So, Steve,
Yeah.
2025 for you. You prepared to give yourself a resolution for this year?
I've been prepared for weeks.
Last year, your goal is to read 4 books. I thought that was a fine goal.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't pan out.
Didn't quite look. I didn't quite make it.
You made it a couple of percent into the year. So for 2025, what is your resolution for yourself?
My resolution for 2025
Excited. Really excited.
is it's to get the Comanche fully functioning in 4-wheel drive by May. So I'm not even giving myself the whole year.
And give yourself half the year.
Not even giving myself half the year. As it sits right now, and I know that you've been following along with the build progress, there's no transmission, no transfer case, no drive shaft, no front axle in the Comanche. But if you look out into my backyard...
That's a lot of things that you had in there.
If you look out into my backyard, you will see an axle that I acquired the other day that is so heavy that I cannot move it to the shop by myself. So yesterday I put it on a sled and started dragging it through my backyard. Got 1/3 of the way there and quit.
So when I walk upstairs
Oh, yeah.
and I look out back,
Yeah.
there's going to be a sled
With an entire axle.
a children's sled
Yes.
with an axle on it,
Yeah.
just lazily dropped because you got 1/3 of the way
Mm-hmm.
and said, this sucks. And this is where it stays.
Yep. I feel pretty happy with the fact that I got it as far as I did.
So we are 2.5 weeks into the new year
Yeah.
for a goal that you want done in 4 months. Four months in a week.
I want to be cruising around this summer in the Comanche just like I was last year.
4-wheel drive means sandhill, vroom vrooms.
Well, I just want the 4-wheel drive to be functioning.
Okay, I didn't mean to put words in your
But
mouth. It would be capable.
As you know, it's a 88 Jeep Comanche
It's an MJ.
Pioneer. Yeah, MJ, Pioneer. 2-wheel drive.
Yep.
But I want it to be...
Pretty much a bicycle at that point, though, right?
It has left me high and dry.
Has it
Stranded
really?
a couple of times. I got stranded in my backyard,
I didn't know this.
which is flat. So, yes, I would like to have it fully functioning. That is a personal goal of mine.
You ever wish you could go back and
Yes.
buy a Comanche that
Wait,
It was
well,
already-
no, you went a little too far.
that was already 4-wheel drive?
Do I ever wish I could go back and maybe rethink the Comanche purchase?
Now that I did not expect.
No. I still enjoy it.
Dream car.
Still,
That's how you described it.
dream car.
Said you grew up as a little kid.
I want a rust bucket.
I can't wait to have a single cab, 2-wheel drive, Jeep truck one day to take my adoring family out on all of our ice cream trips in the summer, illegally, and smelling of diesel fuel.
Well, I mean, come on, it's not. I mean, what are you, an idiot? It's not diesel, it's gasoline.
Sorry.
Okay.
Obviously.
So yeah, to get that thing running, functioning 4-wheel drive. If I wanted to, this is when I make those ridiculous claims. Like if I wanted to, I could have all of the parts here that I need this week and have it all put together next weekend.
So how much more do you need to buy dollar-wise? Is it a big dollar amount, small dollar amount?
No, probably under $150.
So everything could be attained without a dent of a purchase and in the warehouse soon enough that you could be, wrenching away within a week.
Yeah. The problem is there's a lot of prep work that I need to do that I just keep delaying because I have to do a lot of like cleaning and underneath the truck is kind of a mess right now. I'm just trying to clean it all off.
Yeah.
Put a nice protective coating on it. Then I can start the reassembly process. But it's the clean it off part.
We don't have a ton of time to break down what I think you should do for this, but I worry about the May deadline. Not because of lack of motivation or anything, but because in about 6 to 8 weeks, when that sun comes out and it's, in the 40s and 50s and it's nice here, and the next big Steve project takes hold, the siding.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I just heard about, as I walked in, about another Steve project that you've been talking about for years, that you're now declaratively saying you're going to be doing this year as well, which is somewhat big, knocking down sides
the
of
sunroom. The sunroom will be gone in 2 days.
I worry about the May deadline just because when the big project comes along...
No, you're a fool. You're a fool to worry.
Okay, May it is. Steve, my 2025 resolution for you, I went back and forth on this because last year I gave you one. You attained it. You nailed it.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of different options that I went back and forth on until I settled on this one this year that I think you're going to love.
Okay.
I think you're going to love because I think it's a piece of joy that you've been missing.
Okay.
And you've got the room and you've got the ambition and you've got the smarts for it. 2025, Steve.
Yeah.
I want you to buy another car.
Okay. Is that it? Just I need to have my name on the title of something?
Yeah, I went back and forth on vehicle or car, but I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna go back to vehicle.
Okay.
And that's because I think you miss
What do you want me to get, like a helicopter or something?
the starting process, right?
I do.
Of the Comanche when you had to wheel that tub of bolts to the house.
It's not the least accurate description you've ever had.
I think you missed that fresh canvas from the Second Chance Jeep's Murder Jeep days.
Yeah.
Before that, you know what? You've done this enough. I want to see you. And maybe it's not another dream car or anything, but maybe it's another, hey, I found a hot deal. This poor family got, slaughtered nearby. And
turns out they had a pretty nice car collection.
They're letting it go for pennies on the dollar.
If you can look past the blood splatter.
Which I got to tell you, I've been Googling. A little spritz of this homemade concoction. It's going to get right out of there. I'd like to see you buy another vehicle.
Yeah.
That maybe it's long-term. Well, it seems like they all might be long-term one way or another, right? Like whether it's on purpose or by the process never ends, right? Just because, hey, I want to do this now. I want to change that. I'd like to see you buy another vehicle. Car, scooter, go-kart.
Okay.
Something to get you back in like phase one of wrenching mode.
Back in the wheeling and dealing game?
Wheeling and dealing.
All right. So this, could this be achieved if, say, I just decide to get a new car this year for myself?
Sure.
So, and I sell my car, buy a new car. that works, right?
Yeah, I'd
So
allow
this
that.
doesn't have to be. I don't have to have an addition to the fleet
No.
necessarily.
No. And but I know how this goes. You're not just going to go to Johnny Dealer.
No.
And I don't mean drugs. I mean Johnny Car Dealer
No.
to buy a new car. Because you're not a sucker.
No. Come on.
So you're checking the forums.
Yeah.
You're checking Marketplace.
Yep.
And you're waiting for one of those infamous hailstorms, infamous hurricanes.
Yeah.
That you can
current
get.
car is a hail damaged vehicle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And before that was the Jeep that had the salvage from
Yep.
New Orleans,
It was,
Louisiana, whatever.
Yeah, Louisiana, I think.
So I know for a fact you're not going to go pay car rates at the dealer.
Okay.
So sure, I'm willing to include that you get it because if you want a new car for yourself, because I know a new car for yourself is going to be some type of project anyway.
Probably, yeah. It's rare that I just get a vehicle and say, this is my vehicle, and I start driving it.
Right. Like right off the
Okay.
lot, I'm happy.
All right.
Wipe my hands of it.
All right, so my wife will be thrilled.
But listen.
But I think that's... I don't know if that's really a resolution. So
No, it should be. It should be. You got the warehouse now.
Okay. All right, so I have to acquire another vehicle.
I think the Comanche's been taking a little too long.
You think?
Yeah, so I think it's time to add another one to the fleet.
Send it down the road?
What about another Comanche?
Don't think that I haven't been tempted.
Swap parts, right?
All right, Kyle, I have a resolution for you as well. As we know, your 2024 didn't quite pan out.
Close though.
I think that you were closer than ever.
Man, I tried.
2025, though, it's going to be a banner year for you. You know why? You're going to join a team.
Oh,
A team.
okay. So, oh boy,
Mm-hmm.
some type of athletic,
Doesn't necessarily have to be that.
right? Could it be like a club? So it's gonna be like, hey, it's a running club. Now that I'm never gonna do that.
I'll give you that option. Some type of group activity that meets on a regular basis. Even if it's a spring softball team that you're done with by May.
Sure.
Again, you can knock this out before the middle of the year.
Oh, this one hurts. This one hurts. That's like a group of people. You got to talk to them.
It could be a book club.
Woof.
It could be a
That's not bad.
it has to be some kind of regular meeting, though. And I feel like I want to say it's got to be in person. No virtual. No
Okay.
virtual book clubs.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, because it's one that's too easy to do, and too easy to fake.
Okay.
Okay, that is an ambitious goal. I like it.
Yeah. That's your resolution.
Sorry, that's an ambitious resolution,
Not a goal.
but it's going to get me out there. It's
Yeah.
forcing me out into the masses.
And,
Ugh.
and based on that, you could fulfill last year's resolution as well.
Closer than ever, man. I am closer
All right.
than ever. For the podcast this year. Now, last year I failed. I missed it just that much. I wanted to quit. So for the podcast this year, Steve, wanted to up the ante. For the year 2025, I want this podcast, the Steve and Kyle podcast. I want us to take another trip.
Okay.
So
We took one last year. We went to Kyle, Texas.
So we've had 2017. We went to Boston
Yeah.
to see the Cheers bar. 2018?
18 or 19 we went to.
We road trip to Van Wert, Ohio.
Yep.
2024, we went to Kyle, Texas. Too long of a gap there.
By the way, one of my coworkers, when we were on vacation, he sent me a text and he said, just drove through Van Wert, Ohio.
Lovely town.
And he said, it took me a minute to remember why Van Wert, Ohio meant anything to me. I said, did you swing by a carpet store or
Yeah, the carpet discount warehouse or whatever.
hey, check out the main drag?
Yeah.
Did you go to a bar over in Dolphin?
Yeah. Or Convoy.
Convo-
Dolphin?
Wasn't
It
there
might
was-
have been Dolphin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely
So
town.
we're okay. Are we talking flights?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't
This could be a day trip.
Could be a day trip to the big park in Carmel, Indiana, maybe. Right? So I could see it.
It's a good park.
Maybe we find an event that we both want to do, but it's, a way that we either have to commute to one way or another, or that we can invite.
Okay.
I want to take a trip, but I want to a trip that we can invite listeners to join us if they're in the area.
All right. I'm always up for a little adventure.
Yeah, we'll empty the coffers when there's something in the coffers, if we need to, for the road trip or the flight budget.
We've been using a lot of it on 3D printing stuff.
Or let me tell you, easy way out. Gathering of the Kyles 2025.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
I think this is the year.
All right, and finally, my resolution for the podcast.
Now, yours last year was a positive goal that I appreciated doing. That I think we gave a half effort.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're happy. Or I hope you're ready. Because for this one, it's going to require so little effort.
Okay. This could be a good one.
My resolution for this podcast is to not do Poll Badness 2025.
Wow.
That's right. My resolution is to not do something.
That's a lot of work.
Something that we should do.
It's a decent amount of work.
Yeah.
Payoff's been dwindling on that for a couple of years now.
Payoff?
It's true. We'll get those beautiful trophies.
I mean, we could still get a trophy.
Should we just determine our own winner?
There you have it.
I mean, another way.
That's our 2025 roadmap.
Again, for me, I want to run 1.5 miles without stopping. I want Steve to buy another vehicle, and for the podcast to take a trip where listeners are invited to join us.
And for me, running and functioning four-wheel drive in the Comanche by May. For you, Kyle, you have to join a team or
club,
a group club. Yeah,
with in-person meetings.
Maybe one of those sports and social groups.
Ugh, no.
Where you like drink beer and go on merry-go-rounds or something.
I think you got to be in your 20s and wanting to date.
And for the podcast, to not do Poll Badness this year.
Ambitious, but I like it. Next year, or next week, I'd still like to get one more on the list of people we can keep tabs on. Checking in a couple times a year. Jason Santos on the list. But also, feel free to submit yours at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So we can read some of those and keep tabs on you social media-wise.
Yeah. Other than that, nothing else. We'll talk to you next week. See ya.